Joining us for a conversation is the director of Parasakthi film, Sudha Kongara. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time.
Not at all, thank you.
It's been 16 years of you in the cinema industry, in the film industry. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What's been your biggest learning in these 16 years?
16 years you're counting since my first film?
Drogi.
Like that. So pre that another 10 years.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
you
like
worked on that script.
No, I worked as an assistant director and I worked on Mitra, my friend. So it's like 26 years now. I feel ancient. So there is no pause for learning really. And you really can't take a break.
Right.
And you're constantly at it. These are my learnings. And you learn something from each film. There has to be a takeaway, otherwise there's no point to it. And from each film I have had those takeaways. Like from my first film, what I realized was I needed an extremely strong producer. I needed various things, and commercial success is very, very important.
That's
From
right.
my second film, I realized that you have to spend for publicity perhaps, and you have to do so many things of marketing and everything, which we missed out on. But then it did well. The film did well by itself. And then on the third film, you learn something else. On the fourth film, you learn. Every film is a learning. It matters in the sense that are we learning something from it, and am I taking away something from it? That's all. The rest should not matter. I mean, yeah, of course, you sit and then you worry. You think, okay, my God, this didn't do well, or the critics are panning you and all of that. You do worry, but that's not your takeaway. Your takeaway is everything else that you learn, saying you shouldn't have done this, or you should have done this. So there are lessons.
Yeah, that you never stop learning. Lovely.
Never.
Ma'am, if you could come up with a 2-film resume to show yourself as a director, to show who you are as a director, which one would you pick? A 2-film itinerary, a 2-film resume.
I would take my shot, Tangam, from
Okay.
Pavakadegal.
Okay.
It's on Netflix, from the anthology. Then I would take Parasakthi.
Oh, I was thinking you'd say Irudhi Suttru or Soorarai, Pottru as your 2-film resume. Why Tangam?
Tangam because they impacted me on a personal level.
Okay.
I think
In what way?
Tangam, because when I was working with transgenders, trans women, and working with a section of society that I had not been familiar with before that. So I just go into their world, and it just I learned so much.
Right.
So that matters to me. I have see, we live very we live other people's lives, through our films. So so me living their life during that time gave me an empathy and made me a better human being. I feel
How
that
lovely.
very strongly. Yeah,
Yeah.
very strongly. So to me, it's very, very close to my heart. Very, very close to my heart. And I believe everybody involved in the film, like the actors involved in the film, they were all, not huge actors, but they were great actors. They were
Yeah.
not stars. And the commitment from each of them, and the fun we had while working at it, there was just no. Also, I was the producer on it myself, so the decisions I could take, and everything was. I think it was a joyous experience. I loved it. Then, why not Irudhi Suttru, you say?
Yeah.
In Irudhi Suttru, whatever said and done, it's a male savior.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in looking back now, 10 years later, or even then, even when I did it, I knew I had to do it. I knew to mount the film, I had to have a male protagonist, a strong male protagonist, and though it was essentially the girl's story, I had to do various things to make it mountable too. Even with that kind of a story, and even with Maddie, we struggled so much, 7 years or so, to try to make that film, because whatever said and done, it was about female boxing, and there were no takers really. And Maddie fought that battle with me. and he had the guts and the gumption to do a role to support the girl's role, you know. So my biggest thank you to Maddie for that.
Are there more number of takers now for female directors? Because when I think, I know you being a female director, I know Kritika Udayanidhi, then there's a new entrant, Varsha Bharat, who has come into a picture with the most amazing film Bad Girl. It's just a handful that I can think of. So has the landscape improved, ma'am? Are there more takers now for female directors?
I don't see the struggle anymore.
Okay.
I don't see the struggle anymore for me.
For you?
For me.
Okay.
But there are girls who come and who tell me it is a debut thing. When they want to debut, there are no takers.
Right.
And I hear the same from the male assistant directors as well. So getting that first film is really, really tough, whichever sex. And now, depending on the film that you're going to do, if it's a mainstream kind of a film, and if again, it's such a catch-22 situation. They want you to have experience and come to them with experience, but then they don't want to give you a film. How do you get experience? So I think I've been very, very fortunate and privileged in that sense that I did have to fight for it, but my first producer was a female, was a woman. And my second film, somehow Maddie was really standing by it. So you need somebody. So when I'm talking male savior in Irudhi Suttru, that's exactly how I got my film, Irudhi Suttru.
Yeah.
There had to be a big star, a male star, who would, stand by me and who gave me that push. He didn't give me the push. He didn't give me the push just so I'm a woman and he's helping me or anything. No, he loved my subject. He believed I had the capacity. He watched Drohi. He felt I knew enough about the grammar of filmmaking to be able to do this and to pull this off. Only then. So you see, but still, if he had not supported me, I don't know. I really don't know. So to me, till today, I still feel very strongly, despite the fact that Maddie always says, your story was great and I wanted to do the film and you owe me nothing. I feel I owe him big time. Because when I was down and out after a flop, to give you a film, to trust you is a big deal.
Right. How nice.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it's day 7 of Parasakthi's release. Has the release soaked in inside you? How has the response been? What are you hearing?
Okay, so from day 1, I think we had a great opening because it was a weekend.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, and Saturday, Sunday was good. The response that I get from people, from the audiences, it's been terrific. Terrific. I mean, I haven't. I'm sure there are lots of people with negative things to say about the film, people not liking the film, but the people reaching out to me obviously are the people who are loving the film. People who are reaching out to the technicians, people who are reaching out to the actors in the film, they are loving the film. And the people who are giving reviews on television or on YouTube or anything, I see that they're loving the film.
Do you watch what critics say, ma'am? All the comments which
Not really.
come on?
Not really.
Because recently I saw how you got targeted personally because your film had almost the same release date with Vijay's film Jananayagan, and a lot of his fans, I saw how much of trolling that you had to undergo. They asked you to apologize to Vijay, also push the release date of Parasakthi as well, wait until Jananayagan comes. How do you deal when you're subjected to that kind of intense online harassment?
The most beautiful thing about my life is I am not on social media. So if I have to post something on Insta, one of my assistants, Arjun, does it for me. My associate, he does it for me. And actually, I never wanted to be. For the longest of times, till I think about 2023, I was not on Insta or Twitter, X. But what happened was, my writer friend called me from Kerala and she told me that there were girls who were being targeted and from various fake IDs, supposed accounts of mine, and they were being called for casting calls and lots of abuse was happening. Right. So then we were as a job, I was pulling down those fake IDs again and again, reporting them not thousands, hundreds of them definitely. And then it just became so bad once. There was one really bad incident, and this person reached out to me from Kerala. I said, okay, I'm going on that, on X, and then it was Twitter and the other one, Insta, just with a blue tick, just to tell people that this is the real ID. And then it comes in use when we have films releasing. So a little bit of updates or something like that, or whatever the producer wants me to do, or our marketing department wants me to do. Now, as for these attacks, so there was a journalist, just like you, who had asked me on the second, I think on the third, fourth, fifth day or something, he had asked me if I was being attacked politically. I said, no, I was not being attacked politically. The problems were not from the political segments or anywhere, but it was from a person like this, and I showed him that particular X comment. It's from this handle, Blasting Tamil Cinema, which says, Dear Dawn Pictures, CBFC kitta certificate vaangiradhu perusilla, Anna fans kitta sorry kettu, apology certificate vaangu. இன்னும் ஒரு வீக் இருக்கு, அவங்க மன்னிச்சு விட்டா பராசக்தி ஓடும்.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and this is that. I've kept it for posterity. I've kept it. I felt really abused.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know who he is. I don't know them from Adam.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I don't even think it's his fans. I don't think it's even from that. I think it's from some other segments of I don't know who these people are, but they don't seem like fans.
Okay.
So this is not coming from there. That's what I've realized. So I apologize to his fans. I shouldn't have though he says apologize to the fans. They just use their names, which is tragic. They're using Mr. Vijay's name. They're using his, And now, having said this, so I showed this gentleman this particular thing, and then I responded to it saying that this is the kind of bullying I'm facing online. Now, what gets picked up by the media? What is the clickbait? Just that Sudha calling everybody gundas, right? Don't you put what I have said and my response to it in context? It doesn't seem like I'm tearing down anybody, right? But that was never done, and maybe it makes better TRP, or maybe it gives you better readership by doing something like that. But frankly, I was never even given a chance to explain this, and just slamming, and then it's become such a wonderfully easy place to slam you from, no? Because it's you're hidden.
Yeah,
you're not
it's nameless.
there.
We don't know who they are.
Absolutely, and that's so spineless.
Yeah.
The fact that they're just targeting you again and again and again. And this particular one just got me irritated. So I wouldn't have even responded to this if not for the fact that on that particular morning, when I am seeing this particular thing, that particular journalist calls me, and I am telling him out of whatever I'm feeling. Perhaps he should have not even carried my feelings.
And how do you overcome when you come across such terrible threats, ma'am? It really does get to you, because no matter how, the kind of achievements that we all do, at the end of the day, we're all human beings with emotions. And when you see messages like that, how do you come out of it?
So this particular message that I read out to you is perhaps the nicest. So then you have really vulgar ones targeting me, and terribly horrible ones wherein, a very sweet boy, one of the actors, he had just called me and he said, please, terrible things are happening, terrible things are being said, are you aware of it? So then I said, okay, I don't want to be aware of it, but some things come to my ears. It's not nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can't, I read this somewhere, which is a brilliant thing, which is, if you cannot kill a woman's dreams, you character assassinate her. Yeah. So it's easy for them to be doing things like that. Oh my God, what abusive language, what terrible abuses. It's awful. Freedom of expression and all that. I'm a firm believer. But the day you're slandering, the day you're defaming me, and the day you're like butchering me, just because my film released, it got censored, do they even know how hard I had to fight to get that film out? It wasn't easy.
25 cuts, because I was one of the reporters
Forget
covering
the 25 cuts. It was a 20-day process. Today at 12:30, I think we got the certification with the cuts. And tomorrow 9 a.m. is my release.
Yeah.
How do you do those cuts? It is just that we were working literally like an army, like the military. I mean, there's no, I don't have the choice or the luxury of saying, I can't do this, oh my God, how am I going to do it? I never operate like that.
Yeah.
So my friend Milind, he was on the post, he went off to Bombay the previous day. He was sitting there on the VFX and the DI saying, whatever cuts come, I'm here to do that. And then I was sitting here with the editor. We were just waiting for the cuts to be given so we can do the cuts. And then there was somebody sitting in the mix whole night. Nobody slept for 48 hours. Nobody. I mean, that's no big deal in cinema. But none of us slept, and none of it came from, am I going to be paid? Am I being paid extra or for the money? There was Ashirvad. He's a North Indian. He's my colorist, sitting there with DI. He was hearing about the censor issues that we were having. And he was sitting there, he's the biggest colorist in the country. And he's just sitting there waiting for the cuts to be told so he can sit and do the work. He just wanted the film to release. So I am saying there were so many people passionate about bringing this film out.
Yeah.
And that kept me going. And that's what kept us going. But of course, I don't expect everybody to, understand these struggles and say, okay, let's make this film a hit. Let's support this film. Not required. Watch the film. If the content works for you, you support us, you support the film, and we're grateful. Yeah. But all these things had happened in the censors, and it was not easy. It really was not easy.
There was a lot of, constant monitoring that was happening for Parasakthi. So I very well remember the anticipation for Parasakthi that came. I still remember that day. But ma'am, what was the sort of discussions that you had with the censor body? Because this film is a very strongly politically rooted film. So what sort of deliberations did you have with them? And when they suggested those cuts, how did you make sure that your vision wasn't distorted in any way? How did that go?
Okay, so for the first time in my life, in my small journey, actually it's very few films, I've just done 2 films, really straight films. And in that, I have never had this thing of going to the revising committee. I have had only cuts given to make, I remember entering the censor office for Irudhi Suttru, and the board head, he just saw me, the chairman just saw me, and he said, who do you want to watch your film? I said, the youth. He said, I want everybody to watch your film. So I want to give you a U. I want to give you a U, but you'll have to do these things for you to get a U. I said, okay, I'm game. And I put the pad and everything. And then I was like arguing with them. But for the most parts, we did what they had wanted us to do. And it wasn't so brutal either. See, for a creator, anything is brutal. If you're going to remove an A from my sentence, it's brutal.
Okay.
But somewhere you have to get practical. Do you want to bring your film out? And then you get practical. Because you've chosen something that's not easy. And so this was for the 5th. Our film's release is on the 10th.
Okay.
So the 5th, they call me in, they watch the film, and like I said, and I continue saying, the person, the censor board member, who was really, really democratic in his approach,
Right.
and he told me, you have made a film that is so, what do you say, literally tea, and you want us to certify this and everything. But he was smiling. And he said, okay, I will be certifying. However, you will have to do a few audio cuts alone to get this film out. So I said, I'm fine, sir. So I had my pad and everything, like as usual, regularly. I was going to write it down. But he said, no, we need to discuss a bit more. And there's lots of things that are that need to be put down and collated. So we'll give it to you in a couple of hours. So we're just hanging around there for a couple of hours. But they said, no, the next day, the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Okay.
So I got my cut list only on the 8th afternoon. So 8th afternoon, I get my cut list. So the cut list was not given to me in front of the censor board, wherein I sit and I argue with them.
Yeah.
I was not given that opportunity. But then when I saw the cuts, they were not something that were going to derail the film.
Okay.
They
So
were
you're
not-
happy with the cuts? there is...
I'm never happy with the cuts. No filmmaker is happy with the cuts that they're given to them. Because I was making a film which could be on slippery ground for the most parts.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep away the red flag material from my film. So there was not too much violence. Everything was controlled. And I was watching it with the hawk's eye to see like where would the censors, have an objection to this. So I was being very, very careful because to me, the ultimate goal was to take it out there and put it in front of the people.
The whole anti-Hindi imposition agitation movement that happened in the 1960s, the whole theme is sort of rooted in Dravidian ideology and leaning towards a political party. So how do you, ma'am, as a filmmaker, ensure that, because there is a certain section that is keen to brand you under a certain light, because it looks like you're endorsing a particular ideology, a particular party. So how do you then, as a creator, sort of distance yourself from that light and ensure that you front yourself as only a creator? How do you do that? How do you separate?
So what was interesting to me when I came across this particular movement, when I saw this particular thing in history that had happened in the Varalatrila Varumbodhu, I saw it as a student movement. And that time was when the students fought. And I have only shown that time. Now, if you're going to go back, like there are certain sections of society which say we were not represented and we were there, we were so a part of this and everything. There are lots of people like that. If I have to start the story, it needs to start even way back in 1918 when the first Hindi Prachar Sabha was brought to the Madras presidency to spread Hindi. Right? I haven't started there. And then Periyar is nowhere there in my film. He's not there. And he was the one who started the anti-Hindi imposition agitation in the first place in the 1930s, 37, 39. And then you see many years after that. I started it with the promise of Nehru, which was made in 1959, and go on to 65, when constitutionally we are going to be making Hindi the sole official language. Those 2 points interested me. And in that phase of the Poratam or the revolution or the rebellion, it was the students. Most of the political leaders were behind bars. And even if it is a Dravidian ideology, whoever, these students were also very, very taken with the Dravidian ideology. There was no two ways about that they were looking to Anna and whatever he was saying, it made a lot of sense to those people. Right. Youth, as you know, rebel. Youth, as you know, question. They're inquisitive. And I love that energy. And I loved the energy that it just became a student movement. A huge, big student movement which changed the course of India, which changed the course of southern states for sure, and for so many other states.
I was watching one of your old interviews where you were mentioning about how in your older days, how you used to be a huge mainstream cinema fan and how you used to go attend all of Vijay's first day, first shows. Are you a Vijay fan? Because now he's in politics, but since your cinema also was going to clash with his, are you a huge Vijay fan? What's your, image of him as an actor?
See, I love Vijay. I mean, I'm his biggest fan. I'm probably his biggest fan. And there's no two ways about it. And even Mr. Vijay is aware of it because I have met him and I have told him the same. Yeah. And we were at one point supposed to have been doing a film together that didn't pan out due to various reasons. But I'm saying he is one actor that I have loved. So now all this that is happening around us, the film was supposed to come with us at the audio launch. That was the first thing I said. I said, I've watched my film 2,000 times, but FTFS, I'll go watch Vijay sir's film, first thing. And I wanted that film to release so badly. What happened to Jananayagan, where just 2 days before release, the censor holds you back, is something that should not happen to any film, leave alone his film. And it was never our intention to compete with that film. How do you compete with the biggest star in the country? You don't. It's just that film releases, our film releases because we need a festival date. And that's all it was about. So I have, I still have the same immense love for him as an actor.
Ma'am, I know you speak Telugu, you speak Tamil, you speak English, and you also speak Hindi. So many languages. And your film is also about against the imposition of a particular language on a state. overall, in the political scheme of things, there is a lot of narrative about Hindi being imposed, especially in South India. Since you've also made a film on that, what's your take on that in real life?
So this was the problem that existed in 60s. That's what I've spoken about in the film. I have not referred to the present. Now coming to the present, imposition of any kind, of a language, of a law, of anything that is non-democratic doesn't sit well with me. And that doesn't sit well with anybody. Like I was saying in an interview the other day, my kids today don't want to be asked where they're going, when will they come, who they're going with, what do they want to do. They just want that freedom, you know. And if you're going to impose, see, I know so many languages. That's because they come to me. I find learning languages easy, but it's not easy for everybody. So language is everything. It can make you feel inferior. It can make you feel like you don't belong. I have to belong. And for that, I cannot have a foreign language or a language that I have no desire to learn imposed on me. Now, if I'm going and working in another state where I have to learn the language, I'm game for it. But sitting in my state, you telling me you learn another alien language, a language alien to you, and bring it in here and you become an expert at it, it's not possible.
You've watched the film now in theaters, you've seen how the audience have received it. What, according to you as a director, was the best decision that you made about this film? And what, according to you, did you feel that there is more scope for improvement in that film? What's been your introspection so far?
The best decision I made about this was, I would say, the casting. I enjoyed working with this cast. It was such a new experience for me. And they were all like, the actors before that I've worked with, I've known them. I literally have grown with them. I've grown up with them. But these guys are like, literally, they look at me as like some school mom or something like that. And,
Karthikeyan was bantering with you at the audio launch.
yeah, he's like that. And but it was fun to dig into something to dig into these people whom I don't know. We've just interacted on the readings and everything, but I just loved working with this cast. I think that's a huge takeaway for me from this film. All of them. And oh, Ravi is like, I just loved working with him. He's a single take artist. He just so gets you. He's just listening to you. And so is Adarvan, so is Ratnamala, so is, Sri Leela. And SK is a joy to work with because he's so easy. He's just easy.
Yeah.
So, and that's the biggest thing I would say this film gave me. And the second biggest thing that this film gave me is to get out of the censors and be there. So that to me is the most happy part of this film is that I was able to get my film out. Just yesterday in the news where there is the book fair and people are going and buying books on the Hindi imposition, anti-Hindi imposition.
Yeah.
There's huge demand for those books. It makes me so happy. The same thing happened for Simply Fly. Simply Fly with the Captain Gopinath's life.
Do you think it's still prevalent, the imposition of a language?
Your mother tongue and mother are not very different. So you fight for that. You're not going to let go of your mom. You're not going to let go of your mother.
Thank you, ma'am. I really hope from India Today that Parasakthi does more numbers and just shines bright in the theatre, because I know one of your cinemas didn't get a theatrical release. It directly went to OTT, and how badly you wanted Parasakthi to find a theatre release. I'm so glad that happened. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, in that context, you realize how happy I am today,
Yeah,
because several boxes have gotten ticked off. So I'm very happy. I'm peaceful, and I just want the film to do really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.